in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today everybody knows we are at the last day of the 2020. So the topic is Goodbye 2020. If you are brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with a new hello. Goodbye 2020. We won't miss you for sure. Everyone does this summing up of the year gone by. It is usually titled The Year That Was or 2020 in flashback and so on. Summing up the year going by is a routine the media has been following since no one knows how long, and the same will be done for 2022. But the summaries will be dominated by the use of words COVID-19, Corona, the pandemic, and related terms. It has been a year full of restrictions and curbs, all thanks to the coronavirus pandemic. But like any other year, this pandemic ravaged year too gave us a few moments of joy, giving us enough tales to tell our younger generation. It has been a year since the still mysterious novel coronavirus hit humanity. About 3 months later, India went into a lockdown to stop the spread of infections. Transport was suspended, night curfews were imposed, gatherings prohibited, and businesses were shut, leaving lakhs jobless. Trapped far away from their homes, jobless migrant workers walked thousands of kilometers in desperation, carrying all their belongings. Many died, and many with struggles visible on their faces became the defining images of the lockdown in India. Thousands succumbed to the coronavirus, scaring their families forever. Several others are struggling with post-COVID illness. The coronavirus situation in India has become better, but we will never forget the year 2020 was. A pandemic that swept through the world and state. Today, being the last day of the year, we are very happy to say goodbye 2020 with a hope that tomorrow will be a new beginning where the normal life will once again come back. And to say goodbye 2020, we are being joined by the chief guest of today's, and I invite him and welcome him. He is Professor Dr. P. Subramania. He is the Professor Dr. P. Subramania is the Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University. He is having more than 3 decades of experience in teaching, research, and administration. He did his MCom from Mangalore University in 1982, securing first rank with gold medal. He obtained PhD degree from Mangalore University in 1992 in the area of consumer behavior. He worked as professor, trainer, and consultant. He published 46 research papers in national and international journals of repute. He did postdoctoral research at Nottingham Business School, Nottingham Trent University, England, on HRD policies and practices. He also did a cross-national study of India and Britain under the Commonwealth Fellowship Scheme during 2001-2002. He received an international award entitled eLearn International Award 2003 from Scotland, UK for his best research paper on trends and status of corporate e-learning and Indian experience. He also received the prestigious Devang Mehta National Award for Best Teacher in Human Resource Management in November 2009. He is down to earth, ready to listen, and eager to implement. Welcome, Professor Dr. P. Subramania on our show. Today is the last day, that is the 31st December 2020. And we are highly obliged of you that you have attended so many of our media conferences in this year. But because today is the last day, definitely we would like to know from you how was the year and how to say goodbye to this 2020. So goodbye 2020, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal, and also the youngsters who are present here. As you rightly said, everybody is very much eager to say goodbye to the year 2020 because COVID-19 pandemic created unprecedented circumstances which made us anxious, a kind of fearful, and a lot of uncertainty was ringing in our hearts and minds. What would happen the very next moment? And the lockdown experience, plus and minus, good things, bad things, and ugly things. But whatever it is, I consider COVID-19 as the best possible teacher of my life. It provided me the unfounded leisure time during the lockdown period. I could engage myself in a process called soul searching, trying to know what I am and what I am up to. An opportunity to listen to my inner voice every now and then, and also a golden opportunity for me to carefully watch my inner ethical compass. Therefore, I could do certain things which I could not do during the yesteryears for want of time or for want of opportunity or for want of a kind of willingness or a kind of firm determination to excel. Therefore, I am really thanking my stars to understand the positive side of COVID-19 pandemic during 2020. Because normally people will say that, oh yes, COVID-19 pandemic, oh, I cannot thank my stars, I am cursing my stars. I don't know what to do. I have become a Hamlet of indecision to do or not to do. Something like that. And I say, no, do not panic. Do whatever you can because you have to ignite your inner self. Understand there are golden moments in your own life because COVID-19 pandemic has also opened up a window of opportunities to engage in a soul searching process. And you can definitely unleash and unlock your potential within to do certain things which will be societally useful, morally defensible, politically wanted, and economically useful. Therefore, we have to understand the positive side of COVID-19 pandemic. Another important lesson I learned during 2020 is sickness anywhere will constitute a danger to wellness everywhere because my individual health is not residing in me, not even in my family, not even in my community, but in the entire society. Therefore, as it is already stated, poverty anywhere will constitute a danger to prosperity everywhere. In a similar way, I say sickness anywhere will constitute a danger to wellness everywhere. This is the number one lesson I have understood from COVID-19 pandemic. So that being the case, we have to exhibit what we call now to say goodbye is a spirit of courage, courage to fail, confidence, confidence to win, conviction, conviction to take it further forward, then universal compassion, it means responding to the hearts and minds of the others who are troubled or who are sailing in troubled waters. So a kind of compassion. Then much more than that, commitment. So commitment to make things happen during 2021. Therefore, we will get the license to say goodbye to 2020 only when we make up our mind with a sense of purpose, pride, and direction to say goodbye to 2020. Forget all those things, but remember the lessons learned by you during 2020, taught by the greatest teacher of the world, COVID-19 pandemic. So that being the case, we are really thankful to 2020 for teaching us certain moral lessons and other things, and also making us realize our inner potential to tide over the contingencies and to get over the crisis in the most befitting manner. That way, I am very much fit enough, like you, to say or to bid goodbye to the year 2020 and welcome the year 2021 with folded hands, with a spirit of brightness, to say goodbye to darkness and say that, let there be blessings, good things to all students, youngsters, brothers and sisters, and the people of the goodwill to live happily and gracefully, because survival is one thing. I'm not interested in surviving. I'm interested in living gracefully. I should be useful to the last person in society. That way, 2021 will provide us the enough vigor and rigor, the capabilities, and also willingness and young number of opportunities to do good things in the society. So that is what I wanted to say. I'm very happy to say goodbye to 2020 and welcome with the folded hands the year 2021 with the spirit of purpose, pride, and direction.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, for giving your very encouraging views. And what Professor Dr. P. Subramania has said, that 2020, although it was very crucial year, critical year because of the pandemic, but it was also positive because he said he himself soul searched and found lots of things which he could not do earlier because of for want of time and other things, but now he has done those things and he searched his soul and he found the inner strength, which is very, very important. So what he says means is that one has to see the positive side even in the negative, and that is the main thing today. Like when we say a half glass of water, a glass half full of the water or half empty, but what means Dr. P. Subramania is that you have a capacity to fill up the balance half. So that is should be the positive attitude, how to fill up the balance empty thing. And that's why he says that he is happy to say goodbye and he want to welcome the 2021, but he is not regretting what has happened apart from the pandemic, but he says that everyone has to be very, very positive even during all these types of negativeness. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, for giving your such a views. I'm sure all our viewers and especially the youth will definitely be enlightened with your views. Now, I would like to invite my first youth guest, and he is Mr. Abhay Sharma. Mr. Abhay Sharma is the head of operations Mathura Gas Service. Mathura Gas Service is the Indian oil gas distributor at Mathura. Mr. Abhay Sharma, you have heard what Professor Dr. P. Subramania has mentioned. Now, we would like to know from you your views and your comments on the goodbye 20. Abhay Sharma, please.
Good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to mention to Professor Subramania that I'm also an alumni of the Nottingham Business School. So that's one thing that we have in common. And my very good morning to the other guests as well. I would like to take forward the discussion that Professor made with us regarding the positive aspects of 2020. We have discussed enough on how 2020 has been a tough year for everyone, how we've gone through lockdowns, how it has been life-changing for a lot of people. It has been challenging for people who are not as fortunate or as privileged as some people and most of us here in this conversation. But there is a big lesson that 2020 will leave us with, and a lesson that I hope and pray that our society carries on for not only 2021, but years to come. There are three main words that I thought in terms of the feeling that 2020 gave us. They are patience, minimalism, and empathy. Patience, we have learned patience in the toughest situation that we could have been in. Everybody who, if he was working or they were in a business or whatever they were doing, the whole world came to a shutdown. There was nothing that we could do. And then we realized that how insignificant we are in terms of the larger picture. And we learned to be patient. We learned to wait. Minimalism, we went back to basics. That is my point with minimalism, that we went back to basics. We realized that we don't need more than our basic necessities. There is so much need in the world, and we were so much in the materialistic zone in life that we had forgotten what our basics were, what our roots were. And once we all were in that situation where we were not getting anything more than our basics, even in fact our basics were becoming a problem in a few places, is when we realized that minimalism and being back to basics is so important, and so important to understand how insignificant we are in this whole spectrum. But the most important word that I feel that the most important feeling is empathy. As a society, I feel more importance is now given to empathy. People have certainly understood what it means to be in somebody else's shoes. The whole society as a whole, when you, even now, even the after effects of 2020, which I feel is that when you meet people, or when you go even to a restaurant, even when you go to a shop, you now realize that people have become more patient because there is this sense of community that everybody has gone through a tough year. So nobody is now irritated with each other. Nobody is in a hurry. Nobody is fighting with each other because they've all gone through the same thing throughout the year. And I believe a sense of community has built up. Uh, and one major lesson that we've learned is that all of humanity is connected. There was a time when the whole world was shut down and everybody was feeling the same anxiety. They were going through different types of adversity, but it was the same sort of anxiety. Nobody knew what was happening. And we all understood that this whole world, not only divided by borders, but we were all connected. The whole of humanity is connected. And one thing that I would like to mention here, the one good thing that has happened in 2020, that the conversation on mental health has really started this year. We have always ignored the importance of mental health. We have never even touched this topic in mainstream media. But since the COVID-19 pandemic, a conversation on mental health has started. So there are so many positives that we can take from 2020, and our best lessons are learned in adversity. And I'm hopeful, and I'm pretty confident that our society, not only in India but in the world, will change for the better in the years to come. It's a sense of when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So I think the whole world has become tough post 2020, and come 2021, it will be a better place to live in. And that's all I'd like to say, and wish you all a very happy new year. And let's hope 2021 is better, and the years to come are better and fulfilling for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abhay Sharma, for giving your views. Although you mentioned about that we are going to the basics. My only worry is that, yes, during 2020, everybody gone to the basics, minimum requirements. Nobody was purchasing any luxury goods, no movies, nothing. But what is going to happen next year? If we will again have the same thing, we will not have the now this suppose this coronavirus gone, although the reports are coming that a new type of virus is coming, but let's hope for the best, and we feel that now everything will be under control. Whether the society has learned the lesson, whether the youths have learned the lesson, that they will not go to the same lifestyle of 2019 or earlier, or they will stick to some extent of the 2020. That is the main question, and which I am sure the youth has to take a lead, because ultimately the 65%, because of the 65% percentage of the population of India belongs to youth. You are the present, you are the future. If you will not think many times, then who is going to think? As Mr. Abhay Sharma mentioned about the empathy, yes, that is much required. We have seen how, no doubt about it, in India, how much help the NGOs and even the individuals have done. So at least I personally feel that youth has to come forward and continue this empathy even in future, the entire life, because nobody knows. And one thing is very clear: whatsoever your status, how big you are, how moneyed you are nothing. You are equivalent to the poorest to poor also. That was shown by 2020. Nature is above everybody. So we have to respect the nature. Thank you very much, Mr. Abhay Sharma, for giving your views, opening remarks from the youth side. Now I would like to go to my next youth guest, and he is Dr. Anand Shukla. Dr. Anand Shukla, please introduce yourself, and then you can start what so you want to say, because you have already heard our chief guest, Vice Chancellor, Bangalore University, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, as well as the earlier guest, Abhay Sharma. So first introduce yourself and then say about the goodbye 20. Dr. Anand Shukla, please.
Very happy New Year and a good morning to all of you present here. I'm a oral and maxillofacial surgeon. I'm associated with Manipal Dental College. At the outset, I would like to say, as Sir has also mentioned, that it's always our outlook which defines our reaction to a particular situation. So for me, glass is always half full rather than being half empty. So yes, this year has been very troublesome. It has been traumatic. It has been problematic for all of us and all over the world. This is one in a lifetime scenario that we all have witnessed. A virus has ruined, has destroyed our day living, has caused havoc in our life. But the positives, the speaker has mentioned most of them. But one aspect which I feel that has happened good during this time frame is that we have recognized that these doctors, these health professionals,
sorry, Dr.
these
Anand.
nurses, these
Dr.
housekeeping staff
Dr.
who serve
Anand,
us day in and day out are our real heroes, and they need to be worshipped.
And the next panelist is Miss Chintana ID. Miss Chintana, you have heard what Professor Dr. P. Subramania, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University, our chief guest has mentioned, as well as the earlier our panelist has mentioned. Now we would like to know your views of Goodbye 2020. Please introduce yourself first, and then you can continue.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chintana. I'm pursuing my MSW from School of Social Work, Roshni Nilaya, Mangalore. Life is full with ups and downs. The trick is to enjoy the good ones and to have courage to face the bad ones. Yes, that is what I did in the year 2020. The word by itself says that be with you every time. Exactly what it is. The experience, the lessons that I've learned from 2020 is that one thing which is going to be with me every time forever. As soon as I listened to the topic, I discussed the same with my friends about the topic Goodbye 2020. This dialogue I could hear, the same dialogue which I could hear from all of my friends is, oh, 2020, the worst year ever. But myself being optimistic, I thought of some good lessons, good experience that I have got from 2020. I'll tell you, in the busy running world, I had no time to spend with my own parents. But 2020 gave me ample of time to spend time with my parents, to enjoy their pampering and love. It took me back to my childhood. It gave time for myself to explore my own interest. Isn't these things very wonderful? Why talking about myself? Talking about our own administration. Our administration got the opportunity to show its capability to the citizens. We understood how our government support us when we are in trouble. The administration facility became so flexible, changing now and then according to the situation. Wasn't this a useful thing that happened in 2020? Again, 2020 was a great platform for the technology to show its power. The old system of education became digital. Don't you think the digital literacy in India is increased today? Yes, definitely. The credit goes to 2020 again. Sometimes I wonder that 2020 is a planned vacation that our nature wanted. As the result of this vacation, there is a reduction of 54% to 60% in air pollution today. It's once again a beautiful thing to hear. Man had no care about his own health. Many were least bothered to wash their hands before having food. Didn't 2020 teach us some manners? And also, every now and then, I hear people saying that 2020 was a curse to youth like us who are in the crucial year to develop our career. But then I'll tell you, yes, COVID-19 has changed our lifestyle, but surely it has not closed any opportunities from us. The only thing is, before, the opportunities were easily available and easily seen in front of us. But this year, we'll have to go search for the opportunity and grab it. The whole process, in fact, has really made every youth stronger. I'll tell you, each and every person had opportunity to learn anything and everything sitting at its own house. If you have not done that in this year, please don't blame 2020, and that is your fault. Mr. 2020 has not distinguished anyone, poor or rich, man or a woman. COVID 19's impact was same on everybody, but then a person who had strong willpower could fight against it. 2020 might be a beginning for more bad days. So, to conclude with this, what I would like to say is nothing is waste in the journey of life. Both good and bad will shape us to become a better person in future. So be brave, have courage, make decisions. Please don't wait for anything to make you happy. It's in your hand to make the present moment memorable and useful. So by saying this, wish you all a very happy new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chintana. You have mentioned that this year, the 2020 is very good because you have got the time to spend with your family. But do you know, this 2020, we lost 1.8 million people all over the world. We lost almost 1,48,000 people in India. Do we require to sacrifice these many lives to understand, to spend time with our family? Don't you think that it's our responsibility from the very beginning to give value to our family? Yes, it's a lesson to all of us. But if we would have learned this lesson earlier, if we would have respected the nature, if we would have respected our family earlier, I don't think that we would have faced such type of worry in 2020, which we faced. Although what you said is right, yes, we have to see the positivity in everything, but we must continue this positivity. Then only these sacrifices of so many lives will be of use. Otherwise, they will all go waste. So I appeal to all of you, all the youths or everybody, please understand the sacrifices, the deaths which has occurred due to coronavirus without of any their fault. And we must respect the nature. We must respect our family, give them full family because you all are youth. Give respect to your elders. Spend some time with them. Even 5 minutes are more than enough for them if you will talk to them nicely. Then only we will be able to say that these sacrifices have not gone waste, and 2020 has taught a very, very good lessons to all of us, so that at least in future we will be able to say something to our next generation or your next generation. So much lesson we have learned. Thank you very much, Ms. Chantana, for giving your so much positive new views. I'm sure that this positivity should continue in 2021, and we will not forget what we have learned. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Jeffrey George. Mr. Jeffrey George, you welcome Mr. Jeffrey George on our show. You have heard our chief guest, Honorable Professor Dr. P. Subramania, the Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, as well as the earlier youth guests. Now, we would like to know from you your views about Goodbye 2020. Mr. Jeffrey George Worky, please. Please introduce yourself and then you can continue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I would like to thank Yusuf for having given me this opportunity to speak at this format. And yes, 2020 has been one hell of a ride. Like we have had our bumps and curves. We have gone through so much. I think it is just like a drama. We have seen so much, twists and turns. It's just like a tragedy. And I am a final year BA degree student, and so I know I have seen enough English dramas. I have read enough dramas. So I would say that 2020 has been a drama which has been written by God. Yeah, obviously it's written by God, and we can see, His skill. 2020 has been, a year where we have seen what social values mean. We have learned how to cope up with the present scenario. Like COVID has taught us many things. Yes, we have lost millions. We lost millions to learn the importance of family and other things. But I think COVID has really been a greatest teacher, as Professor P. Subramanian said. COVID has taught us a lot of things, like how to cope up with certain issues. Like even Mr. Abe said, we have, started to talk about mental health, the importance of mental health in this present generation, and for not only for the youth but also for the older people, like what it means to have a healthy and sound mind to move forward. And one of the greatest pleasures I think COVID has brought us is this online platforms. I never think, I just think that we would never have had the opportunity to speak. I would never have had this opportunity to speak at this media conference unless it was for COVID, because we have had so much opportunities that have come forward due to due to this pandemic. We have learned like online education, online seminars. We have been able to connect with people from distant countries. Like in our college we had this seminar, online seminar, and we could talk. We had a resource person from US, so we could hear his views. So I think, this COVID has actually opened us up for us more opportunities to move forward and also to learn. And family, we can always say that family is one of the major aspects of any man's life. We can never be alone, and we can never move forward if we are single. So we always need the support of someone strong in our life, and I think family has proven to be one of the major factors of this pandemic. Family's importance has been opened up, and many people have accepted the fact that how important family is. And many NRIs, myself being an NRI, I know that when we are in a distant country and we're away from India, we will think that okay, this is fine, this is the best country to be at, I have all the opportunities. But I think India has shown its strength in how important, in how strong its medical unit has been. So we can say that COVID has shown the world how India's medical force is actually very strong. Yes, we have had our deaths, but compared to other countries, like we know, we have read the news and everything. So I think we have shown how India is strong in aspects of its medical resources. And also we have also learned how to respect nature. You see, before the pandemic and the lockdown, India had its issues with pollution and other stuff. And when we went into the lockdown, we saw how not only in India, in all around the world, we saw how pollution levels have decreased in all the major countries that are growing up, in the developed ones as well as the third world countries. You see, so this lockdown has actually helped us to respect nature, to actually see nature for what it is, and not just something that is just for us. We have started to think for the future. And yes, I would like to say that 2020 has been, we have had our issues, we have many deaths, we have had sickness, but I think we should always look on the positive aspect of everything. 2020, we have learned how to live, how to live for the present and not buy for the future. We have to look, like there is no distinguishment for nature. See, even the rich, the poor, no, there was no gender issues, nothing. The COVID came, it took out everyone. There was nothing like I will take the rich people, I will take the poor people. There was nothing like that. It was open. It just came and took whoever it want. Death came and took whoever it want. So I would say that we should learn to respect the other people, not just for ourselves or our family. We should learn and we should try to respect what other people have. So I would like to conclude and say that 2020 has been, a very bad year, but we have to look at the positive side and hope for the betterment. So I'd like to wish you all a happy new year in advance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey. And Mr. Jeffrey, you mentioned that we have learned so many things and we have given respect. That's why the mortality rate is very less in India. Although it is not like that. Even yesterday, somebody was on my media conference from Singapore, and you'd be surprised to know only 29 people died in Singapore, while in India, 1,48,000. Whatsoever the difference of population, but death is death. Number one. Number two, if we have learned so many lessons, why we require so many night curfews in our position in country today? For that to restrain the youth, especially to go and attend this New Year Eve parties. Can't we have so much responsibility ourselves? We should understand that today, if we are going to celebrate the New Year Eve with our friends, etc., whom we are harming our own family. Because if any infection will come, the infection will be carried to your house. You means the anybody's house, and then it will spread. So why not we have, when our earlier speaker says we have understood the family value, we have understood everything. When we have understood everything, why we want that government will be forced Government is forced to put the night curfews in many states and many cities because there is a worry. So if youth, and especially because the New Year Eve parties are basically for youth, not at least for a generation of mine. I will not say about our honorable chief guest today, but at least I am of that age. We cannot celebrate like this as youths are celebrating. If you take a pledge, no, we will not do such thing till the time this coronavirus is there, then at least everybody will be safe. So I appeal to all of our viewers also, please restrain yourself. These parties will continue whole life, but if we will restrain ourselves, then we can see to it that no death should occur in India. And any one death is also as painful as in 1 lakh or millions. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeffrey, for giving your views. I am sure that your views will also go very nicely with the, especially for the youth. Thank you very much. Now I would like to go to my next guest, and she is Miss Jana Ethel. What is your correct name? Just pronounce again, and then please unmute yourself, and then you can introduce, and you can speak. But I would like to tell you that earlier to you, our chief guest, Honorable Professor Dr. P. Subramania, and the earlier youth guests have spoken. They have given their views, and I have also commented. Now, and I was watching to you that you are just nodding when I was talking. Everybody nod here, but when they go after this thing, they says, okay, media conference is over. Now, what is the plan for today evening? Today is a New Year Eve. We should go and enjoy ourselves. Anyway, that is in the lighter way. We have to be, now we would like to know your views. First, you give your correct name because the spelling is bit such thing that I could not pronounce it. Thank you very much. Please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jnana Aital.
Sorry?
Jnana meaning knowledge.
Okay.
In Sanskrit. So Jnana Aital, that's my name. And I'm a dancer professionally. And I'm also an engineer. I'm pursuing my engineering second year right now in NMA MIT MITTE. And I have my own team that is Hedje Nada. And I started the team when I was 11 years old. So it's been 9 years now. And we've been performing all over India, and we performed everywhere, like all prestigious stages. And even in the beginning of 2020, we had the opportunity to perform in Hampi Utsava, which is one of the famous places in India, Karnataka. So we had a chance to perform there, and I was wondering, oh, okay, this year will be really good for our performances. As an artist, we love a stage, the audience, and all of that. So I was wondering if we can perform everywhere and all of that. But as we approached March, we had the COVID and the lockdown, and all of that. And then all our programs were kept on hold or it was cancelled. We were all really upset because what we want our programs right now. So we missed performing on stage, all of us. And we didn't even have practice sessions, although we practice at our homes, but going visiting our teachers or dancing in the group, we missed all of that. So we really missed it. And I was also worried about my engineering aspect of it because I had not finished. I was in my second semester back then, so I had not even finished it properly. So I didn't know what was going to happen. So then anyway, we were promoted to the next semester, but I started worrying, like, okay, so wondering actually, like, what will happen? What are the options that are there in the future? So I started researching because this COVID gave me ample amount of time to think about it, to think about my future, to think what are the options available after engineering. And I researched about it. I got a lot of inputs, and I had actually the chance to meet our chief guest today. I visited him. I visited many of the dignitaries. I visited all of them, and I had a chance to seek their guidance, and it was very helpful. And even in the aspect of dance, I used this time to choreograph new dances, to like develop my own abilities. I researched a lot about in dance as well, the options available in dance after my Vidvat degree in Bharatanatyam. So even in this COVID, I had a chance to complete my pre-Vidvat degree. So I made use of the time given to me by this COVID. I did not let it go to waste. So as of speaking of choreographies, I even watched many of the mythological shows that can be helpful for me. So there's a saying that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So I think that is very apt because whenever there's a time and you just don't really wonder about anything and you start going into the negative aspect of your thinking. So I think uh, you should keep yourself busy. I always had my day-to-day tasks ready, and I had to complete everything. I made sure that I completed everything, because if I don't, if I had the I might, like, keep it for the next day. No, I have to complete everything day to day, so to keep myself busy, because I think keeping yourself busy is one of the way of keeping your mental and physical health both healthy. And also I developed new habits of jogging and yoga every day, and eating healthy is one of the biggest things I learned. So this COVID, although it has its a lot of negative aspects of it, I'm not going to go into that, because there are other positive aspects that COVID has given me these months. So although we still miss performing on stage because of the lockdown, because of this, we understand, but we still miss performing on stage. As an artist, it's always there to perform on stage. But we hope that by the year 2021, the opportunities come up, and all the pandemic and everything that's negative that's been happening will slow down, will stop, will come to an end. And although this year has been a roller coaster of rides with all its ups and downs, but I would like to bid my farewell to 2020 with a huge smile. So thank you, 2020, for being what you are. You've given me a lot of lessons. You've taught me so many things, and you helped me learn so many new things. Thank you, 2020. And hello, 2021. I'm going to welcome you with my open arms. So hopefully it'll be a good year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will just say, you mentioned that everything has given good opportunity, and especially being an artist. I did one show, not one, I think 3-4 shows with the artists, those who are existing artists, those who are performing. And they said that this year was so bad for them because no earning from them, from anywhere. And they have to pay to the musician, they have to pay to all those persons. This is, and the government was not supporting, because there was they are neither the migrants, nor the villagers, nor the farmers, nor the MSMEs. So there was no provision. Although I can take some proud to say that media conference with Lal Goyal, there was a discussion on these subjects, and on one-man expert commission appointed by the government of India under the chairmanship of Ms. Dr. C.V. Anand Bose IAS. They have submitted the report, and they have put a full chapter only dedicated to the artists and artisans. And for that, they have recommended that these artists should be provided the way they have provided to the farmers and all those things. But my question to you is, you are privileged, like our earlier guests have mentioned that I think Mr. Abhay Sharma has mentioned that there is a privileged class. You are a privileged class. But have you ever thought during this year about those who are not that privileged like you? What happened to them? Have you taken that lesson? When the next year, when everything will be normal, you will have different views for those who can't afford. Suppose tomorrow you will become a choreographer. Would you like to teach to those who are underprivileged, who doesn't have money, poor people, free of charge? Or you will be change your attitude and you say, no, my fees is fixed, pay this much, otherwise the door is there. So that should be the, yes.
Can
please.
I add something, sir?
Yeah.
So I have a team right now, Hejenada, and I don't charge anything, and we actually pay the artists for performing. So that is my thing. I don't like taking fee, because I am still a youngster right now, and earning money is for the future, for not right now. So that's my thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. We congratulate you, and we wish that you keep this spirit in your future life also, and wish you all the best. Now, I like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Rupal Shetty. Miss Rupal Shetty, please unmute yourself. Miss Rupal Shetty, you have heard our chief guest, Honorable Professor Dr. P. Subramania, Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, and earlier youth guest. Now, we would like to know from you, goodbye 2020. Miss Rupal Shetty, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rupal. I work for Selco India for our outreach department. So 2020 for me is an year of humanity. Like in cities, we usually say, oh, like people are so selfish. We just think about ourselves. No, that's what I've been hearing all over. So, but 2020 changed my perception of, selfishness has been turned into humanity. When the lockdown was imposed, uh, people were worried. It was something which is very new, and we were all worried. What about us? What about our grandparents? What about our children's? It's something a huge thing. But out of all that lockdown, there were people who came out of it and helped the poor because they knew the daily wage earners didn't know what to do. So there were people who came beyond their bars to help them. So, like Abdul Kalam said in his India 2020, that India in 2020 will be a superpower. And it is proved because our medical health, the medical department of India has been an example for all over the world. And like Abhay said, we are back to the base. True, we are back to the base. Uh, like we in our Indian culture, we usually do namaste instead of hugs and handshakes, and it was again converted back to namaste. So there are a lot of things which came back to, like for example, I like back to our Ayurveda or something like that. Apart from that, what 2020 have taught me is like so Goyal sir mentioned that you are like he mentioned it to Jnana that you are a privileged class. In fact, even I was one of the privileged person who was not so affected with COVID, other than that we didn't have so much work. It was all work from home, and we had a lot of time. So that is when I had to come out, because idle mind is devil's workshop, right? So I came out. I worked as a COVID warrior. That is when I saw the pain of people, like without food, without they didn't know what is happening to them. It's not their mistake. Some virus from foreign country where they have even visited that country, but they are the one who are suffering. So that is the point which taught me, like we normally spend a lot partying, buying new clothes or buying unnecessary items which is not required. Why don't we, out of 10 rupees, even if we contribute 1 rupees to them, will it make difference to you? No, but that will make a huge impact in someone's life. So what I believe for 2021 is, I sustain, we sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rupal, and I must congratulate you that you have worked as a Corona warrior and you have seen the pain and agony those who could not afford or who are not in that privileged class. But one thing you mentioned about selfishness, I think the selfishness definition is changed, as our chief guest has also mentioned, because if I am safe today, then my family is safe, and then the society or community and the country and the world is safe. So in one way, now one has to be selfish. Selfish means that he or she should not get the virus. And for that, if you are selfish, if you protect yourself first, then you can, like when we fly in a airline, they say first put the mask on your face, then to your child, or to anybody or elderly person, but first you have to. Similarly, in this COVID has given us a new direction that we must love ourselves. If we start loving ourselves, we will be able to save ourselves, and we are saving ourselves, we are saving our family. Family means community, nation, and the world. So there is a big difference in that selfishness, or I think some new word will be generated. Instead of selfishness, some good word will come, I'm sure, when our chief guest will speak, because I know he's a man of full of knowledge, and he will be giving that name, which we can have the new name of instead of selfishness. Anyway, thank you very much, Ms. Rupal Shetty, for giving your views. Now I would like to go to our last guest today, or youth guest, and he is Mr. Vignesh S. Gaonkar. Mr. Vignesh, please unmute yourself. Mr. Vignesh, you have heard our chief guest. You have heard all the earlier youth guests. Now we would like to know from you, goodbye 2020. Mr. Vignesh Gaonkar, please.
Yeah, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, respected Chief Editor of the TV and all the dignitaries on the platform. A great and a warm good morning from Vignesh. I'm from Karkala. So I think you have explained everything.
Before that, can you just say what you are doing?
Yeah. So I'm currently working as senior consultant in a listed company in Chennai. I joined corporate in the year 2014, and I'm working in bank, and I work for Bank of Singapore. And when lockdown was there, I was in Chennai, and I came to Mangalore after 3 months when lockdown was partially released. So yeah, all of you have told your experience and stuff about COVID-19 and 2020 year. So what I would like to say is that in finance, we have a concept called as black swan. Black swan is nothing but it's a rare event that happens in financial market or in any economy. So trust me, I'm a B school student. I passed out, I hold an MBA degree with gold medal from Justice Case Institute of Management. When when I was a student, Black Swan was taught in our class with theoretical knowledge, but now we have experienced it in 2020. Uh, 2020 COVID-19 has impacted almost to all segment. It may be from large company to medium company or to the small company or to the all sector. It also maybe to insurance, banking, retail, gold investment, everything. So it has hit to almost to all segments and to all sectors. So what I have learned from this 2020 year is first one is time management. You know, when we don't go to office, we have 24 hours in front of us, and how are we utilizing it? So we move away from professionalism and we take things for granted. So that's time management is extremely important. And then one more important thing that I learned is to save portion of our income for uncertainty. You know, we have a lifestyle in corporate, we earn and we spend, but this particular year has taught us to save a portion of income for uncertainty like COVID-19. And uh, I have also learned few basic new arts. That's what I learned. And I would like to share 2 or 3 experience in this platform. Uh, 3 months before, I was affected by COVID-19. Myself and my mother and whole family was affected by COVID-19 because my mother, she works in a medical department, and she's in 59. And the enthusiasm that they have to fight against, this coronavirus is really enormous. At this platform, I would like to take this as an opportunity to thank each and everyone. It may be police department, it may be medical department, it may be people from education department who are responsible to update the data to the government. So they have done really a great job. And I feel really proud that my mother was one among them. And I was a part of an NGO where we used to update the data. We used to collect the data of how many sputum has been collected, what is the report, whether it's a positive, negative, downloading the report and communicating and circulating to the people. It may be COVID positive report or negative report. So that's that activity I could do. And I can say that in 2020, I got the opportunity to sit and revise my PhD topic and PhD process. I registered for a doctorate degree in the year 2016. Because I work in corporate, we tend to travel outside and we don't get time to sit and finish the stuff. This year, I could finish my PhD and I submitted to the university for review. So that's one thing I yielded from this particular year. So to sum up my talk, I would like to say 2020 is a combination of mix and plus and minus. And this is a learning lesson, this is an eye-opener lesson for us. I mean, our panel member have told how good we could take and what we can avoid further in next year. So I would like to say that it was overall average year for me. There are so many work that we have done which will be executed in 2021. So unfolding 21 and folding a very nice heartfelt thanks to 2020. My final word is that I repeat the statement of the work and effort taken by the government, especially the Corona warriors. Thank you so much. Your effort and your work mean a lot, and thank you for saving our life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vignesh, for giving your views. You mentioned you are working in a bank, correct?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it okay? See, we did a program about many other programs where the main complaint of during the last year, I'm not saying about your bank, but the main complaint was that although the government has released so much funds to be provided to the public at large, and especially those who are suffering very badly, and especially the MSMEs, and they says the bank people want so much security and so many things. They are not releasing the fund. They are giving the funds only to those who are already there, existing customers, and the existing loan who has already taken the loan. They take the loan, adjust the earlier loan, and then the bank manager is also satisfied. So I am sure as a youth and as working in a bank, you will see to it no one, especially the underprivileged class or those who cannot afford, should not be deprived of. When the government of India is so kind enough, our honorable Prime Minister is so kind enough to release so much funds, if there's help, we will not send. After all, the bankers are also corona warriors, in my opinion. Because during this lockdown, the banks were always open, and the bank people were always there in their banks, in their respective banks. So we can also term as a corona warriors. So thank you very much, Mr. Vignesh, for giving your views. Now, because everybody has spoken, now I would like to know from our chief guest, would you like to speak now, concluding thing, or shall we first take one more round of the youth and then you will give your conclusion as you say? Or first you will speak, then I will again ask the question, and then again I will come back to you. As you say, both the things are okay.
Okay, let's hear from them. You pose questions to them.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
I'll wrap it up and.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would first go to Mr. Abhay Sharma. Mr. Abhay Sharma, your profile says that you are a gas dealer owner. Now, we know that during this lockdown, the thing which was also there, which I can say unsung heroes, were the gas delivery men, because policeman role is on the road, the doctor's role in the hospital, but the gas delivery man is going house to home to home. Every house they are going, and they are delivering the gas. How you have cope up? And we know that there are media reports that few of the distributors, the delivery men lost their lives. Now it is a very challenging time. So 2020, I'm talking of 2020 because you have mentioned very good things. People have quoted you also. So I would like to know how you face those challenges. Mr. Abhay Sharma, please.
So first of all, it was very difficult in the beginning because there was no, we were not clear as to what the extent of this disease is, how it spreads. And since our delivery personnel, they go to people's houses every day. We touch approximately 500 houses every day, and they collect either cash or online payment. And at that time, there was this suggestion that touching cash through people, it changes hands, so you can spread the virus. But we had to do it because we are in an essential services industry. So we had to make sure that people at least got their basics in time. And it was a difficult time. It was the first 21 days were difficult because even in terms of the policing and in terms of the whole administration, nothing was clear as to how this lockdown is supposed to go. There were timings. We had to deliver within a stipulated period of time. And everybody, there was a panic situation in the country in the first 2 weeks. So there was more booking. Everybody was scared. They wanted their cylinder fast. They wanted their milk. They wanted to stock up everything. So it was a difficult time, but it made us realize the importance of the most important person in our whole business setup is the delivery person, who's not given as much importance because he's been so regular for so many years. For the last 40-50 years, we have been so used to them coming to our houses and delivering that we forget their importance. And this 2020, thankfully for our industry, has helped regain that importance back. So it's been a good year that way, and our staff is very happy because now when they go to houses, they are offered water, they are offered time to sit, they're given that respect that they duly deserve.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abhay Sharma. And yes, it is the duty of the civil society. how small a person is, whether he's a postman, a courier person. And we have understood this time that even a courier person, how much welcomed he was when he's bringing the grocery at our house. A vegetable dealer, a shopkeeper, a pharmacist. So we must understand, yes, we have to give the importance to everyone. Thank you very much, Mr. Sharma, for highlighting the things of the guest delivery persons. Now, I would like to go to my next guest, Ms. Chintana. I think Dr. Shukla has not yet joined. Yes. So, Ms. Chintana, we would like to know any experience which has given you a new thing in your this 2020, some good experience or bad, whatsoever experience.
Okay, so my experience is so recently I'd gone to my college and I could hear everyone saying, "Oh man, this year was so bad." Okay, for us MSW students, fieldwork is the main thing where we learn the practical stuffs. So that didn't happen. So in many ways, like I could hear everyone complaining, like, "What is this? Nothing is happening. We have not learned anything." But for such kind of youth, what I would like to say is there was so much of opportunity in this society where they could go and give their service. During the whole year, the society needed some volunteers to do something. I think the youth should grab that opportunity. The lively things what we learn in our day-to-day life is the lesson that every youth has to learn. So instead of like just waiting for the academic practices, I think we have to search for the opportunity and render our service to society and learn from it. That is the great lesson that I've learned from 2020.
Okay, thank you very much, Chintana. Yes, we have to learn how to serve the society along with the education. And our Honorable Vice Chancellor will definitely knows very clearly this new education policy 2020 gives that opportunity so that one can do those work and they can have a multiple exit and multiple entry. When you want to do some social work, you can do the social work, and then again you can do the degree and whatnot. Thank you very much for giving your views. Now, same thing, I'm going to Mr. Jeffrey George. Mr. Jeffrey, please unmute yourself. We would like to know your experience or something which has given you very this thing in this 2020, most critical experience of yours in 2020. Mr. Jeffrey, please.
So yes, sir. As I am a hosteler, so I stay in the hostel in the college campus. So during the COVID pandemic, one of the basic things I learned was the importance of friendship. Being in a hostel, we all tend to group together. We become a family over the course of 3 years. So I'm a final year student. So I have had my buddies with me for the last 2.5 years. And then suddenly with the COVID pandemic, we went back to our places, we went back to our homes, and in our college we have students. My roommates are all from different parts of the state. I mean Kerala. So we all group together. We have our fun. Like being in a hostel, we have certain experiences. Like we all group together. We bring food from our homes. We all eat together, and we have our party mood in the hostel itself. And one of the basic things I missed was my friends. Being in a hostel, we learned the importance of having someone as family, though they are not family. So we all consider ourselves as brothers. Like even if one person had a problem, we would all group together. We would all help him in some way, be it education or any other matter. So one of the basic things I learned was the importance of friendship. And also I also learned the importance of being physically strong. Like being in a college, we have to play. And during this COVID pandemic, I was locked in my home. We could never go out, we could never play anything, but still we all learned how to cope up with the present scenario, and learn how to find positiveness in our surroundings and cope with it, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And as you mentioned about the friendship, I feel that everyone should have the friendship with everyone. Inclusiveness. This is what this 2020 has shown us, how inclusiveness, if you only don't think about only your friends, think of others also. If you will start thinking about others, if your heart bleeds for others, definitely the day is not far when we will say that whatsoever type of difficulty will come, we will say a lot easily. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeffrey, for giving your views. But by the way, Mr. Jeffrey, you have not introduced yourself properly, where you are studying and where you stay.
So sorry, sir. My name is Jeffrey George. I'm a final year degree student. I'm from Kerala, and I study at Naipunnya Institute of Management, Cherthala.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now I would like to go to my next guest. I think she's not there. So I will go to the next guest is Rupal Shetty. Miss Rupal Shetty, your experience, the critical experience which you have faced in 2020.
2020 have given a lot of experience, year of experience. Like I said, I was working as a COVID warrior. So March, we faced the lockdown, and that is when I started working as a COVID warrior. Our first task was to search people in the city, like construction workers, because they were all stuck in the building, and roadside beggars, street pickers, and all. So when we were distributing food for them, I met this person, a aged person who was who was sleeping on the road near his lorry. Basically, he's a lorry driver, and when I went to give food to him, he didn't know how to wear mask also. There are certain set of people who are addicted to alcohol, and their life, they can't live a life without alcohol. So even if they don't drink alcohol, the food won't get digested. That is their mental and health condition. So even when I was trying to feed him, he said no, only water is enough. Like, I didn't have food from like almost a week due to a lockdown. And he wanted to feel that, see, I'm not a beggar, but I still feel bad that someone else is giving me food for free. See, that is the level of self respect he had. The other person was also thankful that there are people who searched for them and gave food. The next day I knew they will be there, and I went and searched for them with few food what I could afford for. And next day he was no more. The other person who was sitting there, he said, you were the last person to feed him. Like, that's a different kind of experience. Like, you don't know who is that person, and you will be the last person to feed him. Like, we have never met in our life. The second contrasting incident is, recently the office were open, and recently I had a work. I had to travel to Chikballapur, and it was an emergency work. Due to my own fault, I had left documenting something, so I had to hire a cab. When it was an immediate incident, so cab fees was like high. I was all frustrated, tense, yet I was in the cab. So when I'm very frustrated, I talk a lot to reduce my frustration. So I was talking to the cab driver. I was asking him, though I had little, I mean, I didn't like him so much because he had charged me a huge amount. So apart from that, I was just talking, how was your lockdown? What did you do in your lockdown? You didn't have anything. So all the way till Devnahalli, I was talking to him. In between, he asked me thrice, ma'am, you didn't have food and you're tense. Like, do you really want me to stop, or should I get something for you? I said, no, I just want to reach the location on time. In Devnahalli, he said, ma'am, can I stop for a minute? I just wanted to buy something. I was like, okay, fine. So he went and he came back. He came back with a burger and a bottle of water, and not for him, for me. Like, I am no one. I am already bugging because he have been charged like a huge amount for me, and but still he showed that concern. You see, that is what I meant, humanity. Who am I to him? It's just that our business is, I pay him, he dropped me, it is done. But there are people who care. I mean, that's the experience, that's the summary of my experience of 2020.
Okay, thank you. There is a saying that whatsoever you give, it's going to come back to you. You have also done so much work, so you are going to get it. Very nice experience. I am sure that our viewers are getting really, I feel very much emotional while listening to this. Thank you very much. Now I would like to go to, I think she has come back, Miss Gyana, your experience, critical experience, anyone which you want to say in 2020.
Thankfully, I haven't had any critical experiences. Thankfully, I've not lost any family member, but I have had family members who were affected by the COVID-19, but they are recovered. So nothing like a critical experience as such. Thankfully, I'm fortunate in that way.
Memorable?
But,
Any memorable?
Nothing memorable as such, but I was discovering about the internet, or what do you say, the online platform for the artists. That is one thing, that's something that I ventured into. So that was one nice experience, how to reach the wider audience through my through internet. Like I recorded my dance videos and I posted it on YouTube, and that's one of the new things that I saw, and the support that I received, or the critics, how they react, and all of that. That was something new and something difficult, or a very critical experience.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Vignesh, please unmute yourself. Just tell us, you have any memorable or critical, any experience of 2020?
Unfortunately, I didn't had any critical memory, but I have a sweet thing to share.
Yeah.
In 2020, the most there was a time when I really enjoyed the most was in 2014 I performed the Yakshagana, and after that I joined corporate and I didn't get time to perform it again. And after 6 years, this month I got an opportunity to perform Yakshagana, and I wore Banna, we say in Yakshagana language, after 6 years. So that was a happiest moment for me, because each in 6 years we have started speaking in English, but in Yakshagana we have a platform where you cannot even speak in one word of Kannada, one word of English also. So I had to be very careful. So it was a memorable moment for me. And yeah, what when people were talking about responding to humanity, I think that's so true. I never understood responding to humanity until 2020. This year, I have adopted 3 students of government school of my place, and have paid their education fees. So there, a little bit of effort from me to someone who is actually genuine. So that's what happened in 2020. Most memorable.
Okay, thank you very much. And for our viewers who are not understanding what is Yakshagana, Yakshagana is a traditional Indian theatre form developed in certain cities, I will say, like Dakshin Kannada, Udupi, Uttara Kannada, Shimoga, and western parts of Chikmagalur districts in the state of Karnataka and in Kasargod. And this is something which is very devotional type of performance. And what he said is right, that no other language, especially the English word, can be used. So just for the knowledge of our viewers. So now I am going to our chief guest and Professor Dr. P. Subramania. You have heard all the youths. They are how they have said about the goodbye to 2020, their own experiences. Now, we want from you how you say, because this youth has given so many dimensions for the 2020. They praised 2020. They were happy with the 2020 with some exceptionals, but otherwise more or less. Now, we would like to know from you and your blessings for the youth, as well as your advice to the youth, everything, whatsoever you want to say. You have 10 minutes, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, to give your, please unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Thank you. I was carefully listening to all the youngsters who expressed their views from the bottom of their hearts. I call them as what you call moments of truth of year 2020. See, I am fully convinced now, real India is young India. As Mr. Lal Goyalji said rightly, 65% of the Indian population belongs to our youth. Therefore, youth is real torchbearer under trying circumstances. Now, Mr. Abhay Sharma rightly confessed that we had the experience of going to basics. Nothing wrong, because normally I say, never forget your own history. Study the past, understand the present, and project the future. There should be continuity, otherwise nothing is possible. That's why Abhay Sharma also highlighted what he called patience, empathy, and the relevance of society assumed a lot of significance during the year 2020, because patience must be respected by all of us. We should exhibit tolerance or endurance of the highest order. Then today, nobody requires crocodile tears or bloody sympathy. What we need is empathy, living in the shoes of others. Can you demonstrate your genuine intentions through appropriate and timely actions under difficult times? So the thing is three things. One is capacity to perform. Second one is willingness to perform. And the third one is opportunity to perform. COVID-19 provided lot of lorry loads of opportunities to express your gratitude and other things, and relevance of society became more relevant than ever before because of this COVID-19. So everybody developed a kind of sense of community now, all of us. And ultimately we realized we're all mortal human beings, and a kind of experience, the inner experience, that is nothing but the value of egolessness. I am a zero, that kind of feeling. That will give you a lot of solace and inner comfort. Therefore, physical, mental, intellectual, social, and spiritual well-being is possible. Change for better, and remember, as Abhay Sharma rightly said, together we can. Individually, you may be an excellent person, but if you're a poor team player, you cannot make up a beautiful show. Therefore, together we can tide over all contingencies, and we can definitely, confidently face all the challenges created by COVID-19 and its spillover, maybe during 21 also. So never forget the lessons learned during the COVID-19 time. Love thy nature, and undoubtedly we also appreciate COVID-19 created an era of radical uncertainty and panic situation, and everybody is important, but no person is indispensable, but every person is important. That's what and Dr. Anand made a small observation, that is nothing but mental health is more important than ever before. I say not only mental, but also physical, intellectual, social, and spiritual health. All the 5 dimensions are equally important. Then Jeffrey George rightly pointed out, we had to undergo a kind of roller coaster experience. It was a drama written by God, the Almighty, and we learned how to cope with the crisis created by COVID-19. And beautifully he made a mention of what you call online teaching, learning, evaluation. We could experience what you call webinars, which was unheard of earlier. And another realization is, family is very important. Family values, support, and significance. And we have to respect the nature, because you cannot go against the currents. You have to go along with the currents. And he confessed the decreasing pollution level during lockdown period. Nature was very beautiful. So, and he also valued friendship, and he got the help more than ever before. And he also learned certain coping techniques and strategies. And ultimately the realization was inclusive existence, and together we can. And Jana Itala, she's a very promising dancer and a budding engineer, I know very well. And she concentrated more on fitness, yoga, meditation, and ultimately her message was, count your blessings, not your sorrows. And she said, hello 2021. So it means 2021, yes, we are ready to interact with 2021. And Chintana, yes, she said, we have to have the courage to face the challenges and created by COVID-19, and we should not forget the lessons learned during this period. And people say worst year ever, but no, I started enjoying the parental love, affection, care, warmth, and whatnot, pampering, and all those things. I could also explore the interests hidden in me, and technology, the beautifully, she said, digital impact, and planned vacation gifted by nature. Curse to the youth 2020, no, she said, think differently, look differently, because COVID-19, according to her, Chintana, is nothing but COVID-19 was the biggest equalizer of all times. Good, bad, and ugly. Yes, life is an admixture of good, bad, and ugly. So if there is a mind, there is a way. Rupal Shetty, yes, she was really concerned about what you call wage earners, migrant workers. And she also confessed back to the basics or the roots. And she appreciated the help or assistance of COVID warriors. And protect yourself first. Charity should always begin at home. then really Lal Goyal was in search of a different word for selfishness, because we are not selfish, but we are demonstrating what you call enlightened self-interest. This enlightened self-interest is a more loaded positive term, which is more meaningful than the selfishness. It is not selfishness, enlightened self-interest, because we are trying to amass knowledge only for the purpose of sharing the knowledge for the needy. That is nothing but enlightened self-interest of a teacher or a researcher. And of course, lorry driver, lockdown, no food, compassion, self-respect of a lorry driver, lot of things. Then frustration, during frustration, she used to be more talkative than ever before. And the taxi driver brought what you call water and burger. And she really appreciated the humanity and the humble and helping attitude of the driver. And that is nothing but Lal Goyal, he said, good things will always come back. So do good, be good, good things will follow soon. That is what Vignesh Gaonkar, he said, black swan was COVID-19, and she learned what he called the value of time management and the lifestyle management, and whole family was affected by COVID-19. So it means he has got what he call lived in experience of COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, his words really carry a lot of endorsement, nothing short of medical endorsement. I appreciate it. He thanked the people of goodwill, especially the Corona warriors, and who helped his mother recover very fast. So part of NGO, he was also part of NGO, and he thanked all the doctors, paramedics, and NGOs. And he said 2020 was an admixture of pluses and minuses and lessons learned. He can't afford to forget those lessons. And because of the spin-off effects of these lessons, two things, he could perform Yakshagana after 6 years. The real moment of truth, joyful experience for him, and the real outcome, give something back to society. He adopted students by paying their fees. It is nothing but we have to be universally compassionate, number one. Finally, number two is nothing but we have to demonstrate our genuine and appropriate intentions through timely actions, because we have to give something back. Never forget your own history. Never forget the lessons learned during 2020, and be aware of yourself and be aware of yourself. It means this year we cannot celebrate New Year 2021 with the earlier pomp and fervor. We have to be more responsible than ever before. We, as the youth, we should be role model for others. Wish you all the best. Happy New Year 2021. Thank you very much for the time and opportunity, Mr. Lal Goyal ji.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, for giving your kind words, and one word which you have given to me, enlightened self-interest. So that's the thing one should learn from such a learned pupil like our Vice Chancellor, Honorable Professor Dr. P. Subramania. And today you have seen the 2020, whatsoever adversity, whatsoever bad, but the positiveness, opportunities. And so many opportunities have come. People have understood their own self-strength, inner strength, which is very important. People have started doing yoga, people have started doing meditation, using those things which they never did earlier. And because they always consider that time is not there, they could not spend their time with their family, near and dear. But this year has taught them that yes, you have to give the importance to the family, because after all, the family has taken care when you are a child. Now, when they require you, you have to take care of them. And that is why the family is family value, which has been taught in this pandemic year, is very high. Plus, everyone has given their views, how they have supported, how they have done the work during this year. So I'm sure that although people say that it's a very bad year, or somebody says a good year, it's really a mixed year, but depends on your own attitude. If you see the others, in a beauty in others, you will be yourself a beautiful person. So thank you very much to all of you for joining us. And today's live telecast has been telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day something new. And as you all know, tomorrow is the new year. So tomorrow our program, a special program, is of New Year resolutions. And we are having two very important people, although we are having lots of people who are giving us the blessings by way of sending their messages. But we have few of them. I can name them right now. One is Dr. Swasti Shri Bhattakaracharya, Charu Kirti, Panditacharya Mahaswami Ji of Jain Mutt, Moorbidri. Another is Most Reverend Dr. Peter Paul Saldhana, Bishop of Mangalore. And the next is our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania of Mangalore University, and many more. Plus, we will be joined by the youth again. As you know, the Gyan's endeavor is to give the Global Youth Activity Network, that is the motto of Gyan, the full form of Gyan. And our motto is to enlighten and bring the youth in the mainstream. They cannot say that, see, this is the work of the older generation. No, we are now spent force. Now the present is also yours. Don't think that the future is yours. The present is also yours. And we are living on bonus. So please take over the entire thing. And that's why we are bringing the youths twice a week instead of once a week earlier in our media conference with Lal Goyal. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, for joining us and giving so much kind words. I am sure that everyone has been enlightened. And very, very happy new year to all of you who has joined today and who are viewing our program. Please do join tomorrow the media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much. All Professor Dr. P. Subramania, as well as all the youth guests who are present there, and all the viewers, and happy new year once again.